Khamzat's a real dog. That dude wants to go out there and kill. He ain't want to go out there and do anything. He puts on a show just by default because that's just his fighting style. I watch him train for 7 hours straight. That's me and Khamzat.
No, bro, you're an American boy. What are you talking about? You grew up here. Like, what are you talking about street fights? You've never been in a street fight.
Khamzat Chimaev has been turning heads with the intensity of his training camp, and with UFC 319 drawing near, the narrative is starting to shift. What many believed to be a potential weakness, his cardio, may now be a misunderstood trait masked by the sheer explosiveness of his fighting style. The man known for his aggression, power, and vicious grappling has been refining every aspect of his game to face one of the most rugged middleweights in the UFC, Dricus du Plessis. Reports from Chimaev's camp have painted a picture of near-obsessive preparation. It's not just about hitting pads and sparring rounds. It's a complete lifestyle overhaul focused on eliminating any doubt that he can go 5 rounds if necessary. The team surrounding Chimaev includes some of the best in the sport: Abdulrashid Sadulov, Semi Sanchez, and even Arman Tsarukyan, top-tier names offering their skills and experience to sharpen Chimaev into the most dangerous version of himself yet. Arman, who has been training with Chimaev directly, gave a glimpse into the fighter's current condition. He didn't hesitate to express his excitement, noting that Chimaev is looking sharp, energized, and healthier than ever. Arman's role has been multifaceted, offering help wherever needed, whether in striking, wrestling, or just being another intense body in the room. The objective is simple: make sure Chimaev walks into the cage fully prepared to walk out as UFC middleweight champion. Chimaev's training has taken on a rigorous structure. Each morning starts with a grappling session at the renowned jiu-jitsu studio at Santo Performance Studio.
Hello everybody, I'm Arman Tsarukyan. We have a training camp with Khamzat Chimaev. He's getting ready for his title fight. He looks sharp, so excited for him and to see him UFC champion. So far his camp going well, he's healthy, he has a lot of energy, and I'm just here to help him whatever they need. If they need the wrestling, I'll wrestle. If they need the striking, I'll strike. So I'm here to help, and I want him to be a UFC champion.
Under the guidance of elite coaches like Bernardo and Leo Vieira, this first session of the day focuses heavily on cardio-intensive drills designed to build endurance and mimic the chaotic pace of a high-level MMA fight. These aren't just generic workouts. Every movement is tailored to counter what Dricus might bring to the table. The coaching staff has been breaking down Dricus's tendencies and building Chimaev's game around exploiting those openings. From high-volume drilling to specific counters, this training is surgical. And the focus on cardio hasn't come by accident.
Khamzat's first morning class, which is this grappling class at Santo Performance Studio. It's in the jiu-jitsu studio that's open 7 days a week, led by Coach Bernardo and Coach Leo Vieira.
In fact, Dricus himself had previously questioned Chimaev's endurance, taking public shots at his ability to last through a full 5-round war. Dricus went so far as to say there was no way Chimaev could handle the deep waters of a championship bout, predicting his gas tank would fail after the first couple of rounds.
We're seeing a lot of drilling, a lot of high pace, high intensity, high volume drills that are allowing obviously everybody's cardio to build up, but at the same time, it's a lot of specific drills based off what they think DDP might do, how he might behave during the fight.
It wasn't just Dricus. MMA analyst Din Thomas echoed the sentiment, describing Chimaev as a sprinter, someone incredibly dangerous early on, but potentially vulnerable if dragged into the later rounds. Din pointed out that Chimaev's style is built around overwhelming opponents with pressure and ferocity in the early going, but questioned whether that same pressure could be sustained over a 25-minute fight. He suggested that someone as durable and tactically sound as Dricus might be able to weather the early storm, drag the fight into the championship rounds, and capitalize when Chimaev starts to fade. In his words, by the time the 3rd round rolls around, Chimaev may find himself in unfamiliar territory, facing an opponent who simply refuses to go away. But that's where the narrative begins to shift.
I think Khamzat is a sprinter. I think if you were to make fights 1 5-minute round, Khamzat beats anybody in the world, any weight class. But you can't fight championship level fights for 5 rounds at the pace where he's at his best. If he fights like that at his best, I think Dricus is so durable and he's so smart that he'll be able to withstand that. Now they're swimming in deep water, and Khamzat can't swim that deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think? It just goes into the championship rounds and he figures them out?
Yeah. I think that by the 3rd round, Khamzat's like, All right. I don't really know. I can't, this guy's not going to.
Those closest to Chimaev's training camp argue that the idea of him having a cardio problem is a myth. Baydeo, who has been closely documenting the camp, dismissed the criticism as unfounded. He said Chimaev has been putting in intense cardio work from day one. Every class, every round, every sparring session is a testament to his conditioning. Deo emphasized that people mistake explosivity for poor cardio. Just because Chimaev hasn't needed to fight into the later rounds doesn't mean he can't. What he's shown in training, according to Deo, is a fighter who has the energy, volume, and pace to go the full 5 rounds if required.
Yeah, I think the narrative behind Khamzat having a low gas tank and not having this cardio, not having the volume to go 5 rounds, I think is a false narrative. Based off what I'm seeing here, based off the classes, the sparring, the grappling, yes, he's explosive. Yes, he's dynamic. Yes, he comes out with everything he has. But just because something doesn't happen in the first or second round doesn't mean that the fight's gonna go to DDP. I think this is just kind of like a casual take, just because everybody believes that the easiest thing to talk about it is cardio. But Khamzat has a high cardio. His intensity of training is at an all-time high.
And it's not just words. The work speaks for itself. Chimaev trains twice a day without fail. His mornings are dedicated to high-paced grappling and cardio, while his evenings focus on intense sparring sessions.
Guys going into this camp, super prepared, super healthy, and I think we're gonna see a different side of him.
In between, he eats, sleeps, and then gets right back to it. This level of discipline isn't new for Chimaev. According to those around him, he used to live in a tiny gym in Sweden, so small it was likened to a shoebox. For 3 years, he trained from early morning until midnight, refusing to cut corners in pursuit of greatness. That level of dedication is now the backbone of his championship preparation.
This guy trains twice a day in here in the morning. He has his cardio sessions and he's training and he's drilling at night. He has sparring, he comes back, he eats, goes home, he sleeps, he repeats the next day. You know, everybody goes through a camp. Every fighter is all in. But when you see the level and the mentality this guy has, I mean, the guy was sleeping in a shoebox in Sweden, in a gym, training from 8 a.m. to midnight for years, 2-3 years. So it's not like this guy just started behaving like this. He's been doing this for years.
Bernardo, one of the head coaches at Santo Performance Studio, described Chimaev's training with awe. He said that during one particular session, Chimaev went through 6 to 8 5-minute rounds, each against a fresh opponent. These weren't just casual grappling exchanges. Each round featured grueling wall work, takedowns, and positional battles. And in every round, it was Chimaev who pushed the pace, who exhausted his partner, who made others gasp for air while he kept going. The guy is relentless. Bernardo emphasized that Chimaev doesn't just train hard, he trains with joy. Even during intense sessions, he has fun. And when someone with that much intensity enjoys what he does, it becomes clear why people call him a monster.
They had this amazing training, and man, he was like 5 different minutes, different rounds. I think he went like 6 or 8 5-minute rounds on grappling and wall work, and he was like just gassing all the guys out. You know, even like new guys will come, and like he was still gas the guys out. So super excited that it's like, man, everybody talks about his cardio this, his cardio that, and the guy's literally an animal. The way he trains, and he trains, and he's like having fun at the same time. You know, that's why he's like murder or kill people or smash, however you want to say it, like in a cage. It's just because of the way he is. You know, if at training with friends he's like that, with that intensity, man, when he closes that cage, of course the fight night's just going to be.
The gym itself became a hive of activity centered around Chimaev's preparation. Dozens of training partners, some flown in specifically for this camp, filled the mats. These weren't random selections. Each fighter was chosen for a reason, whether they mimicked Duplessis with size, style, or specific techniques. The strategy was clear: recreate every possible scenario that might unfold in the cage and be ready for all of them. According to Bear, this level of precision in putting together the right sparring environment is what separates an elite training camp from a mediocre one.
I think at the end of the day, you have to understand that when you put together a camp, it's about putting together the pieces that you think it's going to take for you to win. So I think one thing that I understand this morning, when you walk into the Santo Performance Studio and you see 30 people running around and 10 of them are new faces, it's like, okay, we're starting to figure out what the camp needs. We're starting to fill the gaps. We're flying in these people. We're flying in these fighters. We're bringing in these partners. And now the sparring's going to a new level.
One standout addition to the camp was Pat Downey, a powerhouse wrestler with the kind of explosive strength and technical grappling that mirrors the attributes Duplessis is expected to bring. Pat, who was previously trained with Chimaev in Dubai before the Robert Whittaker fight, spoke about the honor of being brought back into Chimaev's camp. He called Chimaev his favorite training partner, someone who pushes him to the limit and demands excellence. Watching Chimaev control Downey in sparring, someone who's widely regarded for his size and strength, gave the team confidence. If Chimaev can handle Pat Downey's explosiveness, he can handle DDP. Downey isn't just strong, he's technical, he scrambles well, and he has the kind of power that can mirror Duplessis in key moments. That's why his presence in the camp is seen as a perfect fit. He gives Chimaev a constant challenge and forces him to adapt. That level of readiness, that level of stress testing, is exactly what Chimaev needs.
Wolf camp with Khamzat Chimaev. It's really cool. Big honor for me to be included a second time. Last year around this time I was out in Dubai with Khamzat, and it was great camp for a month, and obviously got the submission victory over Robert, and that was a big learning curve for me. I tell people in interviews all the time, this guy's my favorite and best training partner, so super honored to feel like he gets good work from me, to be included a second time, you know what I mean? So not often you get to train with the best in the world.
Yeah, so seeing Pat Downey in Khamzat's camp is exciting for me for a few reasons. Obviously the strength, the power, the size of Pat Downey. DDP's a big dude, but if you see kind of the explosive power that Pat Downey has, watching Khamzat being able to dictate his kind of move on Pat, I think is very, very important. The way Pat can kind of shoot, his technical ability to scramble, his technical ability to have, heavy explosive power. At the same time, he's super strong. That's the type of sparring partner Khamzat needs going into a fight with DDP. DDP is a massive dude who has a lot of strength as well. So a guy like Pat Downey, I would say, is a perfect sparring partner.
The advice coming in for Chimaev hasn't been limited to just coaches and training partners. Legendary fighters have also weighed in. Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the most respected minds in MMA, offered his thoughts on what Chimaev should focus on.
Я думаю, что мое личное мнение, я бы Хамзату посоветовал бы, чтобы он в стойке дрался с ним.
Но мне кажется, вот как будто его стиль такой, что с первых минут атаку, как будто его надо придерживаться, нет, этого стиля?
Прикинь, если я делал бы, я бы посоветовал бы по-другому.
Да.
Вот чисто по боксу пустых, Хамзат лучше. Вот чисто по боксу. Это мое мнение. Просто здесь есть такой момент, ты можешь сфорсировать.
Khabib suggested that instead of rushing in for takedowns early, Chimaev should strike with DDP, take his time, and stay patient. This advice is rooted in experience. Khabib knows that burning energy too early can lead to disaster in the championship rounds, especially when facing an opponent as durable and battle-tested as Duplessis. He also acknowledged that Chimaev has never been in those later rounds, while DDP has the experience advantage in that department. Khabib's advice wasn't just technical, it was strategic, reminding Chimaev that pacing himself will be key.
Хамзат не был в чемпионских раундах. По-моему, не был никогда.
В 5 не был?
Не был. А этот пацан последние сколько? 4 года?
По-моему.
Еще до чемпионства,
да,
еще главных боев.
Опыт у него колоссальный.
Да, у него опыт большой, надо учитывать. Просто, когда ты готовишься к такому бою, ты должен рассматривать все сценарии. Ты не можешь, я зайду и открою. Там есть тренерский штаб. Эти ребята были.
Сейчас вообще новый у него даже.
Там есть тренерский штаб. Новый, да?
Да. Он его переформатировал.
Очень интересный бой для меня это. Вот Ислам против Мадалены и Khamzat Duplessis.
Another voice that added to the chorus of praise was Michael Venom Page. In an interview earlier this year, Page recalled training with Chimaev and described the experience as awe-inspiring. According to him, Chimaev has a presence that commands the room. He's not just physically dominant, he exudes something different, something special. Page admired Chimaev's mastery in his own area and admitted that just watching him train made him want to push himself harder. That's the kind of impact Chimaev has on those around him.
You know what, I always say, seeing somebody as special in person when they're training, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it just inspires me more because he's exceptional in a completely different area to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very good in my area.
As well when you were training with
100%, and you know there's certain people that demand the room.
Yeah.
He walks in and he demands the room. You know, everybody, he's just, you can tell he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But he's so good in his area, and just watching it, I was just like, yeah, it's unbelievable. I appreciate it. Like I said, it inspires me to go and, push myself more.
Page didn't extend the same admiration to Duplessis. He admitted that while DDP keeps winning, he doesn't fully understand how. In his eyes, Duplessis' style seems chaotic and unrefined, yet somehow effective. That unpredictability, ironically, is what makes DDP so dangerous. It's hard to prepare for a fighter that doesn't follow a traditional pattern.
DDP is somebody that is the complete opposite. I don't get how he keeps winning. As in, he's not a person I look at and think, oh man, super talented. And obviously there's something about him because he keeps winning. And sometimes even that is an art, knowing how to
Ozzy, a Russian lightweight and another of Chimaev's former training partners, shared his own take. He warned that Duplessis's unpredictability is real and should not be underestimated, but he was quick to add that Chimaev, by nature, is dangerous for anyone. According to Ozzy, there's something otherworldly about Chimaev. He isn't just another fighter. He's different.
Listen, I think the unpredictability of Dricus is very dangerous for Khamzat.
Yeah.
And what Khamzat has is very dangerous for anybody.
Yeah, of course.
For anybody.
Ozzy claimed he had never trained anyone quite like him. He described him as a beast, relentless in every session, casual about the intensity, and unmatched in mindset. When asked about Chimaev's work ethic, Ozzy didn't hold back. He said that Chimaev is one of the most disciplined athletes he's ever seen, right up there with Khabib. He shows up on time, works harder than anyone, and takes everything seriously.
I have never trained anybody like Khamzat.
Really?
This guy, he is not human. He is something else.
Everyone that sees him in the wrestling room says he's so tenacious, so relentless, and so persistent.
I fell in love with his energy. How he's a beast. He's a beast, and how casual he's about it is incredible.
So he's got a very strong work ethic then.
Oh, humongous. One of the biggest I have ever seen. Him and Khabib are two lunatics in a gym that I have ever witnessed. Yes.
Is Khabib like that as well then?
Yeah, Khabib is like that too. Crazy.
He even called him and Khabib the biggest lunatics he's ever witnessed in a gym, meant as the highest compliment. As for the infamous cardio question, Ozzy confirmed that during training, Chimaev is a machine. His output, his stamina, his energy, they're off the charts. But even Ozzy admitted he can't quite explain why Chimaev seems to slow down in the later rounds of real fights. It could be adrenaline dumps, strategy shifts, or just something we can't see from the outside. But in the training room, there are no signs of weakness.
Khamzat in the training room is just a cardio machine. Okay, the amount of training he's able to perform, the amount of energy he's able to output out there, it's incredible. At least to me, it's still a mystery why he may get tired in the later rounds. I still don't know. After seeing him in training, now I'm confused. I don't know what it could be. Adrenaline dump. God knows. God knows what it is. Maybe he chooses to slow down and fight like that. It's really probably only him who can answer this one. Okay, but one thing is for sure: in the training room, he is an unstoppable machine.
So the big question remains, can Chimaev's grueling preparation and laser-focused mindset translate into 5-round execution? Can he take all the criticism, all the pressure, and use it to dominate a guy like Dricus du Plessis? Or will DDP's resilience, unpredictability, and durability expose cracks in the armor? They call Chimaev the most dangerous fighter in the UFC. Some say no one hits like him. Others claim he's the only man to break a fighter's jaw with a touch.
They call Khamzat Chimaev the deadliest, most scariest fighter in the UFC. They said no one has as much power as him, no one has as much strength as him. They said he's the only fighter to ever break someone's teeth just by touching his jaw.
The hype is real, but the cage tells the truth. Will Khamzat Chimaev's grueling preparation and laser-focused mindset carry him to victory? Or will the unconventional, relentless du Plessis do what no one else has done? Drag Chimaev into deep water and drown him there. Time will tell.